15 real estate terms that every first-time homebuyer should know. If you're thinking about buying your first home, you've probably heard a bunch of words that sound really confusing. People like to throw out a lot of terms, and honestly, it can definitely feel overwhelming and can kind of feel like everybody else already knows what they mean. But don't worry, that's exactly why I'm making this video. By the end, you're gonna understand the most common real estate terms that you're gonna hear during the home buying process, all explained in a simple, easy to understand way. Hi everybody, my name is Aliana Fastring and I am a real estate agent located here in Monroe, Georgia. I do service the Metro Atlanta area. So yeah, let's get started with the video. All right, so pre-approval. A pre-approval is basically when a lender reviews information about your finances, such as like your income, your debts, your credit, to estimate how much you actually are going to qualify to borrow. Having a pre-approval, it also shows the sellers that you're a serious buyer. Keep in mind that pre-approval isn't a final loan approval. Your lender will still verify information later in the process before closing. It just basically helps people and basically the seller to know that you are a serious buyer and you're looking in kind of the right price range so that nobody's wasting their time. Okay, so the down payment. The down payment is the money that you're contributing upfront towards the purchase price of the home. For example, if you're buying a $400,000 home and you're putting 5% down, the down payment would be $20,000. Many people think that you always need to have 20% down to buy a home, but that's not true. Different loan programs do have different requirements, so it's definitely worth talking to a lender about your options. Closing costs. So a lot of first-time buyers focus only on the down payment and they do forget about the closing costs. So closing costs are the fees associated with finalizing kind of the purchase of the home. Depending on your transaction, they can include lender fees, title-related costs, prepaid taxes, homeowners insurance, and attorney fees. Your lender can provide an estimate pretty early on in the process so that you kind of have a better idea of what to expect. Earnest money. Earnest money is a deposit that shows the seller that you're serious about buying their home. Kind of think of it as like putting some skin in the game. If the transaction closes, that money is generally applied towards the purchase. If a contract ends, what happens to the earnest money deposit depends on the terms of the agreement and why the contract ended. Mortgage. A mortgage is simply the loan that you're using to purchase the home. Instead of paying the full purchase price all at once, you're going to be borrowing money from a lender and you just repay it over time according to the loan terms. Interest rate. The interest rate is going to be what your lender charges for borrowing that money. Even a difference of 1 percentage point can have a noticeable impact on your monthly payment and the total amount of interest paid over the life of the loan. That is one reason many buyers compare loan offers from a whole bunch of different lenders. Basically, you're trying to get the most bang for your buck. Home inspection. A home inspection is one of the most important parts of buying a house. A licensed home inspector examines many visible aspects of the property, such as like the roof, the plumbing, the electrical system, HVAC, foundation, and a lot more. And then they kind of provide a report of their findings. An inspection doesn't guarantee that a home is free of problems, but it helps buyers make more informed decisions. Appraisal. So an appraisal is different from a home inspection. I know that a lot of people do get those mixed up. So an appraiser basically estimates the market value of the home, while an inspector is evaluating its conditions. Lenders often require an appraisal because they want to confirm the home's value and make sure that that supports the amount that they're lending. For example, if you are asking a lender to kind of give you a loan of $400,000 for a home that's only worth $300,000, if that falls through, then they're going to be losing money. So they're just kind of protecting themselves. Contingency. A contingency is a condition that must be satisfied before the transaction can move forward according to the contract. Examples may include financing, appraisal, inspection, or depending on like just the agreement. And these conditions can help define what happens if certain requirements aren't met. Escrow. Escrow is when a neutral third party, they temporarily hold money or important documents until the agreed upon conditions have been met. Think of escrow kind of as a secure holding place that helps protect everybody involved while the transaction is being completed. Title. The title basically just represents the legal ownership of the property. Before closing, professionals typically research the property's ownership history to identify issues such as like liens or ownership disputes that may need to be resolved before the transfer of the title can happen. Equity. Equity is the portion of the home's value that belongs to you. For example, if your home is worth $500,000 and your remaining mortgage balance is $350,000, you have around $150,000 in equity. As you pay down your loan, or if your home's value increases over time, your equity might grow in the house as well. HOA. HOA stands for Homeowners Association. Some neighborhoods have HOAs that maintain shared amenities and enforce community rules. Many HOAs also charge regular dues. They're usually monthly, so it's important to understand both the costs but also the rules before buying a home that is in an HOA. Seller concessions. Seller concessions are when a seller agrees to help pay certain buyer costs as part of the negotiated agreement. For example, instead of lowering the purchase price, a seller might agree to contribute towards some of the buyer's closing costs. Whether concessions are available depends on the specific transaction and the financing. Closing day. Closing day is the day that the ownership officially transfers from the seller to the buyer. You're going to sign a whole bunch of documents, complete any remaining financial requirements, and once everything has been finalized and recorded, you're officially going to become the owner of the home. It is an exciting milestone because it's the moment all of your planning and preparation comes together and, well, you're officially the owner of the home. I know that was a lot of information, but hopefully these terms feel a little bit less intimidating now. Buying a home doesn't always have to be confusing. Once you understand kind of the language and the process, it becomes so much easier to be able to follow along with that. If you are planning to buy or sell a home in Georgia, or if there's any other real estate terms you've heard of that you want me to explain, you can reach me at the link in my description as well as in my bio, or just simply leave a comment and I will get back to you. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.